Have you ever wondered how you would survive if you woke up to the sun being 100 times bigger? You blink awake sprawled on a lumpy mattress in a room that smells faintly of dust and old wood. The air feels wrong, too warm, too heavy, like you're trapped in a sauna with no door. You squint at the window and your stomach lurches. The sun isn't just big, it's a monstrous pulsating orb, its edges bleeding crimson into a sky that looks like it's been scorched. It's so close you swear you can feel its heat licking your skin through the glass. You stumble to your feet, heart hammering, and press your face against the window. The world outside is normal, sort of. The grass is still green, the trees still sway, but everything's bathed in this oppressive syrupy light that makes your eyes ache. You're not dreaming. You pinch your arm out and the pain's sharp enough to confirm it. Your phone's dead, no signal, no answers. The clock on the wall ticks lazily, its hand stuck at 6:17 a.m. p.m. No clue. You grab your sneakers still caked with yesterday's mud and head for the door. The floorboards creak like they're mocking you and the doorknob feels unnaturally warm. Outside, the heat hits like a slap. The sun size is dizzying. It's like someone photoshopped a supernova into the sky. You shield your eyes, noticing your shadow's edges are fuzzy like the light's too intense to cast anything clean. You're in a small town, one you vaguely recognize. Maybe you passed through once. The street's quiet, too quiet except for a low hum like a distant generator. Houses line the road, their curtains drawn tight. A signpost reads Somnus Hollow, which sounds like a reject from a bad fantasy novel. You start walking, sweat trickling down your back, and spot a figure in the distance. They're shuffling toward a low stone building with a steeple clutching something, a book, a candle. You call out, but your voice gets swallowed by the thick air. They don't turn. The science of this is beyond you, but you remember something weird. The sun's size shouldn't just change. Its diameter's about 1.4 million kilometers. And if it's suddenly 100 times bigger, physics should be having a meltdown. Gravity would crush you, the earth would roast, yet here you are, not a pancake, not ash. It's like reality's been rewritten and nobody sent you the memo. You jog toward the building, hoping for answers, but the heat's making your head swim. The figure slips inside and you catch a glimpse of others, dozens, maybe gathered in a circle, chanting softly. You pause at the door, catching your breath. The chanting's rhythmic, almost hypnotic, and it smells like incense and sweat inside. You push the door open and every head turns. Eyes lock onto you wide and unblinking like you've crashed a secret club. A woman steps forward, her face lined with age but sharp like she's seen too much. "You're awake," she says, voice low, almost accusing. "You shouldn't be." Your mouth goes dry. What's happening? The sun. She cuts you off. Sleep keeps it small. You woke up too soon. You blink, trying to process that. Sleep keeps the sun small. It sounds like nonsense, but the way she's staring, the way the others are nodding, makes your skin crawl. Historians still debate whether ancient cultures used sleep rituals to control natural phenomena, but this feels like you've stumbled into one of those crackpot theories. You glance at the sun again, its heat pulsing through the open door. If it's tied to sleep, you're in deep trouble because you're wide awake. The woman gestures to a mat on the floor. "Lie down," she says. "Join us." You hesitate. The room's dim, lit by flickering candles, and the air's thick with that incense smell. The others are lying down now, eyes closed, breathing in sync. It's creepy, like a cult nap time. You back toward the door, but the woman grabs your wrist, her grip surprisingly strong. "You don't understand," she hisses. "If you stay awake, it grows." You wrench free, heart racing, and bolt outside. The sun feels hotter now, its light bending the air like a mirage. You need answers, not cryptic warnings. The street's still empty, but you spot a path leading out of town toward a hill dotted with strange metallic structures. They glint under the oversized sun like they're absorbing its light. Maybe there's someone there who can explain this without chanting or grabbing. You start running the ground, soft under your feet like it's been baked too long. Your shadow's almost gone now, swallowed by the light. A weird fact pops into your head. Humans spend about a third of their lives sleeping, roughly 26 years. If sleep's tied to this sun thing, maybe that's why you're the odd one out. You've never been great at napping. The hill's closer now, and the structures look like antennas humming faintly. You're not alone anymore. A figure's watching from the hilltop, their silhouette sharp against the bloated sun. You slow down, catching your breath. The figure doesn't move, but you feel their eyes on you. The air's thicker, here almost syrupy, and the hum's louder, vibrating in your chest. You're not sure if you're walking into answers or a trap, but you can't go back to that creepy sleep circle. You take a step forward, the sun's heat pressing down like a warning. Whatever's happening, you're about to find out. You're halfway up the hill, legs burning, when the path levels out into a dusty clearing. The metallic structures as tall, spindly things, like oversized tuning forks, hum louder, now vibrating the air like a tuning fork for the apocalypse. The figure you saw is gone, vanished, like they were never there, leaving you alone with the bloated sun scorching your neck. You wipe sweat from your brow and squint at the village below Somnus Hollow, its houses huddled like they're hiding from the light. The sleep circle's chants echo faintly, a creepy lullaby carried on the breeze. You're not going back there, not after that woman's grip, and her cryptic sleep keeps it small nonsense. A wooden sign half buried in the dirt points to a cluster of low buildings beyond the antennas. Somnus Sanctuary, it reads. The letters faded like someone gave up on maintenance years ago. You head that way, the ground crunching under your sneakers, each step kicking up puffs of dry earth that smell like baked clay. The buildings are stone-weathered, but sturdy, with narrow windows that glint like they're watching you. You pick the closest one, its door ajar, and slip inside. The air's cooler, thick with the scent of lavender, and something metallic like old coins. Inside, it's a mix of church and sleep clinic gone wrong. Mats line the floor, each with a person lying on it, eyes closed, breathing slow and synchronized. Candles flicker on a stone altar, casting shadows that dance like they're mocking you. At the altar, a man in a frayed robe mutters, sprinkling what looks like sand over the sleepers. You freeze, hoping he doesn't notice you, but his head snaps. Awake, are you? He says, voice gravelly but amused. That's a problem. You swallow, throat dry. I just want answers. The sun, what's going on? He chuckles, dusting sand off his hands. The sun's always been greedy. Sleep keeps it humble. He gestures to the sleepers. This is how we pay the toll. You glance at the mats, the sleepers' faces slack, almost too peaceful. It's unnerving, like they're not just napping but plugged into something bigger. You're saying sleep shrinks the sun? You ask, sarcasm creeping in. What, like a cosmic snooze button? He doesn't laugh. Exactly. Stay awake too long and it grows, like it is now. He points to a window where the sun's red glow pulses too big, too close. You want to call it nonsense, but the heat pressing through the glass feels personal, like it's hunting you. You step back, bumping into a table covered with weird tools, glass vials, wires. A device that looks like a steampunk Fitbit. What's all this? You ask, picking up a vial filled with glowing blue liquid. It's warm, tingling in your palm. Careful, he snaps, snatching it back. That's dream essence, distilled from deep sleep. Keeps the rituals working. He sets it down like it's a bomb. You're not from here, are you? Nobody local would be this clueless. You bristle, but let it slide. Just passing through. Look, I need to know how to fix this. The sun's frying everything. He sighs, rubbing his temples. Fixing it means sleeping. Proper sleep, not your half-assed naps. The rituals channel it, balance the world. He waves at the sleepers. They're doing their part. You're not. You're about to argue when a low rumble shakes the room, dust sifting from the ceiling. The sleepers don't stir, but the man's eyes narrow. That's the sun, he says. It's angry. You're making it worse. Me, you scoff. I just woke up. Exactly, he says, stepping closer. Your wakefulness is a crack in the system. Historians still debate whether ancient sleep cults controlled celestial bodies, but we know it works, or it did till you showed up. You back toward the door, heart racing. This guy's intense, and the sci-fi vibe of the dream essence is freaking you out. A strange fact hits you. The human body can survive about 11 days without sleep, but your sanity starts crumbling way sooner. If this sun thing's tied to sleep, you're not sure how long you can hold out. I'm not joining your nap cult, you say, hands up. Point me to someone who can explain this without the mysticism. He smirks like you're a kid who doesn't get it. Head to the archive across the village. Ask for the sleep historian. She'll talk your ear off about the science if that's what you want, but don't expect her to save you. He turns back to the altar, dismissing you. Go, before you break something else. You don't need to be told twice. You slip out the sun's heat, hitting you like a wall. The village is still quiet, but you spot more people now shuffling toward buildings like the one you just left. They're all half asleep, eyes glassy, like they're sleepwalking through a nightmare. You weave through them, heading for the archive, a squat building with a domed roof that looks like it's seen better days. The antennas hum louder as you pass, their vibrations sinking into your bones. You're not sure what's creepier, the sun, the sleepers, or the fact that you're starting to feel drowsy despite the adrenaline. The archive's door is heavy, carved with symbols that look like eyes and moons. You push it open and the air inside is cool, musty like an old library. Shelves tower to the ceiling, stuffed with books and scrolls, and a faint glow pulses from deeper inside like something's alive in there. You take a step, floorboards creaking, and a voice calls out sharp and annoyed. Who's disturbing my work if you're here to nap? Go back to the sanctuary. You freeze, glancing around. The voice came from behind a stack of books where a woman's head pops up, glasses glinting in the dim light. She's older hair, a mess of grey curls, and she's holding a book like it's a weapon. Well, she snaps. Speak or get out. You clear your throat. I'm looking for the sleep historian. I need to know about the sun. Her eyes narrow, then soften like she's sizing you up. That's me, she says, setting the book down. And you're in way over your head, aren't you? You stand in the archive's musty glow, the sleep historian's sharp eyes pinning you like a bug under glass. Her desk is a chaos of papers, glowing vials like the ones you saw in the sanctuary, and a cracked mug that smells faintly of burnt coffee. The air hums with that same weird energy from the antennas outside, but it's softer here, like a whisper you can't quite catch. You shift floorboards, groaning, and try to ignore the sun's oppressive heat seeping through the domed roof. It's still out there, too big, too red, like it's eavesdropping on your every move. I'm not here to nap, you say, voice steadier than you feel. The sun's frying the world, and people keep saying sleep's the fix. I need the real story. She snorts, pushing her glasses up her nose. Real story, kid. You're standing in a town that's been wrestling with sleep for centuries, and you think there's a neat answer. She waves you over, clearing a pile of scrolls off a chair. Sit. You're giving me a headache just standing there. You sit, the chair creaking like it's as old as the books around you. She leans back, folding her arms. Name's Alara. I study sleep, its history, its science, its quirks. That sun out there, it's not just a star anymore, it's a symptom. A symptom of what you asked, leaning forward. The room feels smaller now, like the walls are listening. She taps a scroll, its edges frayed. Sleep's always been more than rest. Ancient cultures thought it was a gateway to gods, to other worlds. Some even believed it stabilized reality itself. Historians still debate whether those old sleep cults were onto something or just high on bad herbs, but Somnus Hollow's built on their ideas. We sleep to keep the world balanced. You blink, trying to keep up, so the sun's huge because I'm awake. She rolls her eyes. Not just you, the whole system's fraying. Too many people skipping proper sleep, too many cracks in the ritual. You're just the unlucky idiot who woke up at the wrong time. She pulls a glowing vial from her desk, its blue light pulsing like a heartbeat. This is dream essence distilled from deep REM cycles. It powers our rituals, keeps the sun in check, but it's running low. You stare at the vial, its glow hypnotic. What happens if it runs out? Alara's face darkens. The sun keeps growing. Gravity shifts, air burns, reality unravels. You're already feeling it, the heat, the dizziness. Stay awake much longer and you'll start seeing things. Or worse, your throat tightens. You've been awake maybe 6 hours and already your head's fuzzy like you're wading through syrup. A weird fact hits you: the longest recorded time without sleep is 264 hours, but most people hallucinate after 72. If Alara's right, you don't have that long. Okay, you say, rubbing your eyes. How do I fix it? Join the nap cult. She laughs sharp and bitter. The sanctuary's rituals are a band-aid. The real problem's deeper, literally. There's a lab underground built by people who thought they could control sleep with tech, not just chance and essence. It's where the sun's size started shifting decades ago. Something they did broke the balance. You sit up straighter, a lab where, under the hill past the antennas, she says, pointing vaguely. But it's not a tourist spot, it's locked tight and the villagers don't trust outsiders poking around. Plus the sun's light is stronger there. You'll cook before you get inside. You glance at the window where the sun's red glow feels like it's staring back. I'm not staying here to roast, tell me how to get in. Elara sighs, rummaging through her desk. She pulls out a small metallic disc etched with those iron moon symbols you saw on the archive's door. This is a key sort of, it'll get you past the first lock. After that you're on your own. The lab's got tech that makes our dream essence look like a kid's toy time-bending stuff sleep manipulation. But it's dangerous, mess with it wrong and you could make the sun bigger. You take the disc, its surface cool and buzzing faintly in your hand. Why are you helping me? You don't even know me. She shrugs, but her eyes soften. Because you're awake, and that means you're part of this mess, like it or not. Plus, I'm tired of watching this town nap its way to oblivion. Someone's got to try something. You pocket the disc standing. The room's glow feels brighter now, like it's urging you to move. Anything else I should know? Don't trust the villagers, she says, voice low. They're loyal to the rituals, not the truth. And if you see shadows moving, don't follow them. They're not just shadows. You nod, though her warning makes your skin crawl. The sci-fi edge of this underground lab's time-bending tech is starting to feel less like a cool mystery and more like a trap. You head for the door, the disc heavy in your pocket. Outside, the sun's heat hits like a punch, the antennas hum louder than before. The hill's not far, but the path looks longer now, shimmering in the light. You start walking, sweat soaking your shirt, and notice something odd. Your shadow's sharper, almost too sharp, like it's trying to peel away from you. The village is quiet, but you spot a few sleepers shuffling toward the sanctuary, their eyes glassy. One glances at you, and for a second their face flickers like a glitch in a video game. You blink and they're normal again. Maybe Elara's right, staying awake is messing with you. You pick up the pace, the hill's metallic structures glinting ahead. The lab's your best shot, but the sun's watching and the air feels alive, buzzing with something you can't name. You grip the disc tighter, hoping it's enough to get you inside before the heat or the shadows catches up. You're trudging up the hill, the sun's heat clawing at your back like an overeager bully. The antennas loom taller now, their hum sinking into your skull, making your teeth ache. The metallic disc Elara gave you buzzes faintly in your pocket, a reminder that you're chasing a sci-fi lab to fix a sun that's apparently throwing a cosmic tantrum. The air shimmers thick with that syrupy light, and your shadow's still acting weird too. Sharp, too twitchy, like it's got its own agenda. You shake it off, blaming the heat and your lack of sleep. You're not hallucinating, not yet. The path ends at a rocky outcrop where a steel door is half hidden in the hillside, its surface pitted with rust but solid. Symbols like the ones on the disc are etched across it, eyes, moons, and something that looks like a spiral. You pull out the disc and it vibrates harder, almost jumping in your hand. You press it against a faint indentation in the door, and with a low groan the metal slides open, revealing a dark tunnel. Cool air spills out, smelling of damp stone and something sharp like ozone. You glance back at the village Somnus Hollow, its houses shrinking under the sun's red glare. No one's followed you, but the antenna's hum feels like eyes on your back. You step inside and the door seals shut with a thud that echoes in your chest. The tunnel's lit by faint pulsing lights embedded in the walls, casting a sickly blue glow. Your sneakers squeak on the smooth floor and the air's so cold it stings your lungs. You move forward, the disc still buzzing, guiding you like a creepy GPS. The tunnel slopes downward, twisting deeper into the hill. You're not alone. Soft footsteps echo behind you, too light to be human. You spin, heart racing, but it's just shadows flickering in the blue light. Elara's warning about moving shadows rings in your head, but you push it down. You're tired, not paranoid. The tunnel opens into a cavernous chamber and you stop dead. It's a lab, all right, but it looks like something out of a budget sci-fi flick. Consoles line the walls, their screens glowing with graphs and numbers that pulse like heartbeats. Glass tubes filled with that blue dream essence. Hum in the center, connected by wires that snake across the floor. A massive dome overhead glows faintly, showing a distorted view of the sun outside its size, even more terrifying from here. You step closer and a voice crackles from a speaker, synthetic and bored. Unauthorized access detected. State your purpose. You freeze, glancing around. No one's here, but the air feels charged like the lab's alive. I'm here to fix the sun, you say, feeling ridiculous. It's too big. The voice pauses, then hums. Acknowledged. Access granted to primary console. Warning, solar anomaly at critical threshold. A console lights up its screen, showing a 3D model of the sun, its surface writhing like a living thing. You approach, heart pounding. The interface is covered in jargon chronometric fields. Amplifiers, temporal drift. You're no scientist, but you get the vibe this lab's messing with time and sleep in ways that make the sanctuary's rituals look like a preschool nap. You tap the screen and it shifts to a log entry dated decades ago. Project Somnus. Attempt to stabilize solar output via sleep synchronization failed. Temporal feedback loop initiated. Sun expansion accelerating. Your stomach drops. This lab didn't just break the sun, it's still breaking it. You scroll further and a weird fact catches your eye. The human brain cycles through REM sleep every 90 minutes, but this lab's tech tried to stretch that cycle-bending time itself. No wonder reality's a mess. Footsteps echo, again louder this time. You spin and there's a figure at the chamber's edge, a villager, one of the glassy-eyed sleepers from the sanctuary. It's the woman who grabbed you before her face pale in the blue light. You shouldn't be here, she hisses, stepping closer. The rituals are enough. You back toward the console, hands raised. The rituals aren't working. The sun's still growing. She shakes her head, eyes wild. You're awake. You're the problem. She lunges faster than you expect, and you dodge, tripping over a wire. The chamber shakes, the dome flickering as the sun's image pulses. She's on you again, grabbing your arm, but you wrench free, scrambling toward a side tunnel marked auxiliary control. You don't know where it leads, but it's away from her. You sprint the tunnel, narrowing the air, growing colder. The disc in your pocket burns now like it's reacting to the lab. The woman's footsteps fade, but the lab's hum is louder, vibrating in your bones. You burst into a smaller room, this one crammed with more consoles and a single chair that looks like a dentist's nightmare, straps, wires, and a helmet rigged with glowing nodes. It's a sleep machine, you realise, designed to force deep REM cycles. Your head's pounding now, the edges of your vision blurry. Historians still debate whether ancient sleep tech influenced celestial events, but this lab's proof someone tried and screwed it up. You slump against the wall, catching your breath. The sun's heat is fainter here, but you feel it in your mind, pressing, urging you to sleep. The disc buzzes again and you pull it out. It's glowing now, its symbols pulsing in sync with the chair. Maybe this is how you fix it, plug into the machine, sleep the right way, shrink the sun. But the woman's words echo, "You're the problem. What if sleeping here makes it worse? You're too tired to think straight, but you can't stay here." The villager's probably coming, and the lab's voice is droning again, warning about temporal instability. You pocket the disc and head for another tunnel, this one sloping deeper. The air's heavier, the light's dimmer, but you keep moving, driven by the hope that something in this sci-fi nightmare can undo the sun's growth. Your shadow's still wrong, trailing behind like it's reluctant to follow. You don't look back. You're deep in the lab now, the tunnel's walls slick with condensation, the air so cold it bites your skin. The buzzing disc in your pocket is practically singing its glow, leaking through your clothes like a tiny impatient star. The hum of the lab's machinery is everywhere, a low growl that makes your ribs vibrate. You're running on fumes, eyes gritty, thoughts sluggish, like wading through mental molasses. The sun's heat is a distant memory down here, but its presence lingers in your head, a dull pressure urging you to close your eyes. You shake it off, focusing on the tunnel's faint blue lights, which pulse like they're guiding you somewhere, or luring you. The tunnel opens into a circular chamber, smaller than the last, but packed with tech that looks like it was stolen from a spaceship. Screens line the walls, flickering with data streams, graphs, timelines, and weird symbols that twist like living things. In the center, a platform holds a glass pod, its surface frosted but glowing faintly with that blue dream essence. Wires snake from the pod to a console covered in dials and levers, some labelled with terms like chronosync and RM overdrive. You're no tech genius, but this setup screams mess with time and sleep, regret it later. The disc in your pocket goes wild, vibrating so hard you fumble it out. Its symbols match the ones on the pod, glowing in sync. You approach the console, heart thudding. A screen flickers to life, showing a log entry, Project Somnus Phase 2, temporal REM amplification successful. Solar stabilization achieved, but feedback loop risks. Catastrophic expansion. Your stomach twists. This lab didn't just screw up the sun, they were playing with time itself, using sleep as a lever. A strange fact hits you during REM sleep. Your brain's more active than when you're awake, almost like it's running a secret simulation. If this pod can amplify that, maybe it's the key to shrinking the sun, or blowing it up entirely. You tap the console and a synthetic voice crackles calmer than the one upstairs. Chronosleep pod ready. Insert key for initialization. You glance at the disk, then at the pod, and there's a slot on the console that looks like a perfect fit. You hesitate, Alara's warning about the lab's dangers echoing. Mess this up and the sun could swallow the planet, but do nothing and it might anyway. You slide the disk in and the pod hums its frost melting to reveal a cushioned interior like a high-tech coffin. The console's screen shifts, showing a countdown REM cycle synchronization in 60 seconds. You're about to climb into the pod when footsteps echo sharp, deliberate. You spin and it's the villager woman again, her face gaunt in the blue light. She's not alone. 2 others flank her, their eyes glassy but focused like sleepwalking soldiers. You can't, she says, voice low and furious. The rituals are enough. This, she gestures at the pod, is blasphemy. You back toward the pod, hands up. The rituals aren't working. The sun's still growing and I'm trying to fix it. She shakes her head, stepping closer. You're awake. You break the balance. Sleep with us or not at all. The others move in slow but relentless, their shadows stretching across to the floor, too long, too sharp. Historians still debate whether ancient sleep tech tapped into cosmic forces or just human delusion, but right now you're staring at zealots who think you're the devil for staying awake. You glance at the countdown, 45 seconds. You need to stall. Why is the pod blasphemy, you ask, edging toward the console? What's it do? Her eyes narrow. It steals sleep's power, twists it. The old ones built it to control the sun, but it broke the world. We guard it to keep fools like you from trying again. She lunges faster than before and you dodge, slamming into the console. The pod's hum spikes and the countdown drops to 30 seconds. You scramble around the platform, the villagers circling like wolves. One grabs your arm, their grip cold and unyielding, but you twist free, ducking behind the pod. "Stop, you shout, voice cracking! If I don't do this, we all burn!" They don't listen, closing in. You're out of time. The countdown's at 15 seconds and the pod's door hisses open, blue light spilling out. You dive inside, slamming a button on the inner panel. The door seals shut just as the woman's fist bangs against the glass, her face twisted with rage. The pod vibrates and the synthetic voice chimes, synchronization initiated. Prepare for temporal REM cycle. You strap yourself in, heart racing. The pod's interior is warm, the cushions moulding to your body like they're alive. A helmet lowers its nodes, glowing, and you feel a prick at the base of your skull like a needle made of light. Your vision blurs and the world tilts. You're not just falling asleep, you're being pulled somewhere, a place where time and dreams bleed together. The last thing you see is the woman's face through the glass, her mouth moving but the sound's gone. Then darkness swallows you. You wake not in the pod, but in a void, a starry expanse where the sun looms massive but distant, its surface rippling like liquid fire. You're floating weightless and your thoughts are sharp like the pod's tech is wiring your brain to something bigger. A voice not the lab's but deeper, older whispers, "Sleep shapes the world. Fix the cycle or lose it all." You reach out and the stars shift, forming a pattern like the symbols on the disk. You're not sure what you're doing, but you focus, willing the sun to shrink, to stabilize. It pulses, resisting, and your head screams with pressure. Then you're back in the pod, gasping, the helmet retracting. The console's screen flashes, temporal adjustment successful. Solar anomaly reduced by 10%. You slump, relief flooding you, but it's short-lived. The pod's door is still sealed, and through the glass you see the villagers waiting, their shadows sharper than ever. You're not out of this yet. You're trapped in the pod heart, hammering the glass, fogging with your breath. The villagers' faces press close outside their eyes, gleaming with that glassy sleepwalker intensity. The woman who chased you pounds the glass, her fists leaving smudges, her mouth twisting in silent fury. The pod's hum has softened, but the console's screen still glows, taunting you with solar anomaly reduced by 10%. A start, sure, but the sun's still a monster out there and you're locked in a sci-fi coffin with zealots who think you're the apocalypse's poster child. Your head throbs the aftershock of that starry void lingering like a bad dream you can't shake. You fumble with the pod's controls, searching for a release. The helmet's nodes are dark now, but the prick at your skull still stings, like the machine left a piece of itself in you. The synthetic voice chimes, cycle complete. Pod lockdown engaged until stabilization confirmed. Great. You're stuck until the lab decides you're not a threat. You glance at the villagers who've backed off slightly, whispering to each other. One, a younger guy with a shaved head, holds a vial of dream essence, its blue glow pulsing like it's alive. He's staring at you like you're a lab rat and you don't like the vibe. You bang on the glass, voice muffled. "Let me out, I'm trying to fix this." The woman snarls something you can't hear, but the shaved head guy hesitates, his grip on the vial tightening. You catch his eye pleading silently, and for a second he looks conflicted. Then the woman barks something and he turns away, shoulders stiff. Your stomach sinks. These people aren't just loyal to their rituals, they're scared, and scared people do stupid things. The console beeps and the screen shifts to a new log warning: unauthorized access attempt detected. Security protocols activated. You freeze as a low rumble shakes the chamber, dust sifting from the ceiling. The villagers look up startled, and you notice the shadows behind them, those two sharp twitchy ones moving faster like they're feeding on the chaos. Alara's warning about shadows flashes back and you grip the pod straps, heart racing. Something's wrong and it's not just the villagers. The pod's door hisses, starting to unseal, and you brace yourself. But before it opens fully, the shaved head guy bolts forward, slamming a lever on the console. The door snaps shut again and the pod lurches, dropping like an elevator. You yell, stomach flipping, as the chamber vanishes, replaced by a dark shaft. The villagers' shouts fade and the pod stabilizes, humming softly. You're moving down fast, deeper into the lab. The console's screen flickers, showing a new message: emergency relocation initiated. Destination core chamber. You slump back, catching your breath. That guy, did he help you? Or just trap you somewhere worse? The pod's walls glow faintly, and you notice the disc still in the console slot, pulsing in sync with the pod's hum. You're not sure what the core chamber is, but it sounds like the heart of this mess. A strange fact hits you. Sleep deprivation can cause microsleeps, tiny blackouts you don't even notice. If you're starting to slip, you might not realize it until it's too late. The pod slows and the door hisses open, revealing a vast dome chamber. It's like the lab upstairs, but dialed to 11 consoles everywhere, screens showing the sun's writhing surface and a massive cylinder in the center filled with swirling dream essence. The air's thick electric, smelling of ozone, and something sweet like overripe fruit. You step out, legs shaky, and the pod seals behind you, locking you in. The synthetic voice returns colder now. Core chamber accessed. Warning: temporal instability detected. Initiate final synchronization or abort. You approach the cylinder, its glow hypnotic. A console nearby shows a 3D map of the sun, its size still obscene but slightly smaller thanks to your pod stunt. You're making progress, but the villagers' betrayal stings. Historians still debate whether sleep cults used tech to manipulate reality or just believe they did, but this lab's proof it's real and dangerous. You tap the console and it prompts for another REM cycle, but this one's labelled full temporal reset. It sounds like your ticket to fixing the sun, but the warning's blunt risk of neural overload. Survival not guaranteed. You hesitate, exhaustion clawing at you. Your vision's blurry and the shadows in the chamber are moving again, slinking along the walls like ink. You blink and one seems to take shape, a human outline watching. You spin, but it's gone. Micro-sleeps maybe, or something worse. You can't trust your eyes, but you can't stop now. You start the reset sequence and the cylinder hums louder, essence swirling faster. A new pod rises from the floor, its door open, inviting. You're about to climb in when the chamber shakes and a figure stumbles in, the shaved head guy, panting, a cut on his cheek. "Wait," he shouts, voice raw. "There are coming the others." They'll destroy this place before you finish. He's clutching the dream essence vial, its glow dimming. I didn't want this. I thought you'd ruin everything, but you're actually doing it, shrinking the sun. You stare, unsure if he's friend or foe. Why'd you help me? He looks away, jaw tight. Because the rituals aren't enough anymore. I saw the data your cycle worked. The chamber shakes again and shouts echo from the tunnel. The villagers are close. He thrusts the vial at you. Use this. It'll boost the reset. Hurry. You take it, the glass warm, and climb into the pod. The guy guards the door, ready to hold off the others. You strap in, pouring the essence into a slot by the console. The pod hums and the voice warns neural overload risk increased. Proceed. You glance at the guy, his back to you facing the tunnel. No choice. You hit the button and the world dissolves again, pulling you back to that starry void, the sun roaring ahead. You're back in the starry void, weightless, the sun pulsing like a heart too big for the sky. Its surface churns red and gold, smaller than before, but still monstrous, its heat a distant ache in your bones. The pod's tech has wired you into this place, a dreamscape where sleep and time twist together. The dream essence you poured in hums through you, sharp and electric, like you've chugged a gallon of cosmic espresso. Your head screaming, a pressure building behind your eyes, but you focus on the sun, willing it to shrink to fit back into the world you know. The old voice from before whispers, sleep binds reality. Complete the cycle. You don't know if it's the lab, your brain, or something else, but you listen. You reach out, hands glowing with that blue essence, and the dust shift, forming a spiral of symbols, eyes, moons, the same ones etched on the disc. You trace them, instinct guiding you, and the sun shudders, its edges pulling inward. It's working, but it's fighting back each pulse, sending a spike of pain through your skull. You grit your teeth, thinking of the shaved head guy holding off the villagers, of Alara's warnings, of Somnus Hollow's creepy sleep rituals. You're not just fixing the sun, you're fixing a mistake that's been breaking the world for decades. Back in the pod, you're vaguely aware of the chamber shaking shouts echoing through the walls. The villagers must have reached the core chamber, and your allies out there probably outnumbered. You push the thought away, focusing on the void. The sun's smaller now, maybe half its bloated size, but the pressure in your head is unbearable, like your brain's trying to escape your skull. The console's warning about neural overload flashes in your mind. A strange fact surfaces. The brain uses 20% of your body's energy even in sleep, and this resets, burning through you like a furnace. You're not sure how much longer you can hold on. The symbols pulse faster, and you feel a tug like the void's trying to keep you. You resist anchoring yourself to the pod, to the real world. The sun shrinks again, its light softening, the red glare fading to a familiar gold. You're close, so close, but the pain's blinding, and your vision splits, the void blurring with flashes of the chamber. You see the pod's glass, the console's screen. Solar anomaly reduced by 80%, almost there. You pour everything into one last push, the essence surging through you, and the sun collapses inward, stabilizing into a star that looks normal. You snap back to the pod, gasping, the helmet retracting with a hiss. Your body feels like it's been run over, every muscle aching, but you're alive. The console beeps, temporal reset complete. Solar anomaly neutralized. You slump, relief flooding you, but it's cut short by a crash outside. The pod's door hisses open, and you stumble out, legs wobbly, into the core chamber. The cylinder of dream essence is dim now, nearly spent, and the screen show the sun, small gold, sitting calmly in a blue sky. You did it, but the chamber's a mess. Consoles are smashed, wires sparking, and the shaved head guy's slumped against the wall, blood trickling from a gash on his arm. The villagers are gone, but their damage lingers, broken tech, spilled essence. He looks up, managing a weak grin. You actually pulled it off. You kneel beside him, heart still racing. You okay? What happened? They tried to stop you, he says, voice rough. Didn't like me switching sides, but I held them off. He nods at the screens. Worth it, right? You nod, helping him up. Yeah, sun's back to normal, thanks for the save. He leans on you, and you both limp toward the tunnel. The lab's hum quieter now, like it's finally at rest. Historians still debate whether sleep tech could ever control celestial forces, but you're living proof it can, for better or worse. You glance at the guy, realizing you don't even know his name. "What do I call you?" Joran, he says, wincing as he moves. You tell him, and he chuckles. "Not bad for an outsider. The tunnel's cold, but the air feels lighter, like the world's breathing easier. You're exhausted, your head still throbbing, but the sun's fixed, and that's enough for now. You'll figure out what to tell Alara how to deal with the villagers' anger later. For now, you just want to see the sky." You emerge from the lab, the hill's antennas silent, the sun hanging low, its light soft and warm. Somnus Hollow lies below, quiet, its sleepers probably waking to a world that makes sense again. You take a deep breath, the air crisp, and feel the weight of the disc in your pocket, now still and cold. Joran leans against a rock, catching his breath, and you both watch the sunset, a normal one, no longer a threat. The world feels softer now, its edges blurred like a painting left in the rain. You sit on the hill, Joran beside you, his breathing steady despite the blood drying on his arm. The sky deepens to twilight stars, pricking through each, a quiet promise that reality's holding together. You're bone-tired, your mind frayed from the void, the pod, the essence that burned through you. But there's peace in this moment, a stillness that feels earned. Sleep, you realize, isn't just rest, it's a tether, a fragile thread tying you to the world. Somnus Hollow's rituals, Alara's warnings, the lab's reckless tech. They all point to the same truth: you can't outrun your need to dream. The sun's back where it belongs, and maybe you are too for now. You close your eyes, not to sleep, but to feel the cool air, the faint hum of the earth beneath you. The stars whisper and you listen, letting the world fade to a gentle hush.